American Business Heroes, today we're going to talk about payroll and 8 different ways that you can cut your payroll. It's probably your biggest expense that you have. And as an extra bonus at the end of this video, I'm going to give you something to think about that's going to blow your mind. But I swear to goodness, it's true. So stay tuned. Here we go. All right, payroll. Oh my goodness, probably the biggest expense that you have to deal with, right? Nobody really likes payroll. There's all kinds of problems that come with it. But let's knock out about 8 different ideas here for you to take a look at to really think about to reduce your payroll. All right, so coming in at number 8, reduce your turnover. Oh, easier said than done, Dave, right? Easier said than done. But let's take a look at this and really step back with your business and take a look. Are you providing a good work environment? Is it clean? Is it organized? Are people happy? Well, how the hell do you do that, right? I mean, come on. So keeping people happy, a lot of times if you have a neat and clean work environment, that makes them happy. If you're organized as a manager or an owner, that makes them happy. Make sure that they're informed about things that are going on. You don't want your staff coming in one day to work and there's this big surprise, right? So if you're in, let's say, hospitality business, you know, a bus pulls in, what the heck's going on? We didn't know about this. It makes people mad. So keep them informed as much as you possibly can. Also, treat them fairly when it comes to hours and how you view them and how you talk to them. Keep it all the same. Treat them very fairly. Also, encourage them and praise them in public. Everybody loves that. You know, if you're out there in front of everybody and you say, Josie over here, man, what a job you did yesterday. It was great. And you do that in front of everybody. But then when you need to really get on somebody, if you need to discipline somebody, do that in private. Take them in the back room and say, hey, you didn't meet the expectation. Here it is, clearly. I want you to meet the expectation. Again, that's something that's very, very important. Number 8, reduce staff turnover. All right, let's go on. Number 7, can you add incentives such as a commission to make your staff more productive? Now, what this does, it attracts superstars to your business, and it gets rid of the slackers. It gets rid of the losers out there because if they're based on just an hourly wage and everybody else is based on maybe an hourly wage plus a commission or maybe an hourly wage plus an incentive of some sorts, then those people that are slackers, they go away, and it makes room for the people that are the winners to come in. Number 6, ask yourself, can you outsource any function of your business? Okay, so what I'm talking about right here, it's very easy. If you have a function that somebody's attached to, in other words, you have a staff person that's in charge of a function of your business, but it really isn't enough time for them to take up the whole day or the whole work week, then possibly you can outsource that and save some money. That's a business decision that you have to make in your own business, but take a look at it. Coming in, number 5, owner, manager, lead by example. So what I'm talking about here is don't ask anybody to do anything that you wouldn't do. You pitch in, you help. Every once in a while, heck, go mop the floor, pick up some trash, go do something that what they're doing. Go work alongside of them. It really goes a long ways. But I want to warn you, here's the trap with that. Don't have that take over your life as a manager or as a business owner. You help out, you pitch in, you show people that you'll do anything that they do, but don't take it over. That's their position, not yours as the manager or the business owner. All right, number 4, cross-train staff. If you have staff members that their particular job, like we mentioned before in the outsourcing, maybe it doesn't take up a whole day or a whole week, but if you cross-train them, then they are a more valuable employee. They have maybe 2 jobs to do, 3 jobs to do, but it keeps them happy. It allows you to fulfill and fill up their entire schedule so they're not sitting around on their hands for half of a day or half of a week. So cross-training, again, it makes them feel more valuable to your organization, and it helps you with your scheduling and making sure that all the business functions are done properly and on time. Number 3, oh my goodness. You've had them, I know. Hopefully you don't have any right now. But the staff that just sucks up time, the time suckers that you have out there. And I'm talking about people that they come in maybe 10, 15 minutes early and they clock in ahead of schedule, but they sit around, they talk to people, they smoke a cigarette before they actually go to work. Now, have them clock in on time and not early. Same goes at the end of their shift. At the end of their shift, maybe they're sitting around, they're just lollygagging or no hurry to get out of there. They end their shift at 4 p.m., but at 4:15, they're still there. No, clock out. If you're done, and go home. Something else, they talk too much during the day. You see them wasting their time, but then if they're talking, guess what? They're talking to somebody else, and they're wasting that person's time and taking up that person's time. They're on their phone all day. Again, we're talking about the time suckers out there that you have to get rid of. Number 2, underperformers. So underperformers, they cost you dollars. They are financial liabilities. They eat up additional labor hours to make up for the slackers. So in other words, if you have an underperformer, technically, if you don't do anything about that underperformer, then you have to hire somebody else to come in and do their job, right? You have to hire them to come in and do their job. That's no good, right? You need to get rid of the underperformers and tighten everybody's schedule up. It's very, very important. And also, you'll lose sales because of the slackers, the underperformers. If they're making customers mad because they're not doing things on a timely basis, you're going to lose them. You're going to lose those customers and lose those sales. So what do? Set expectations for these people. Say, hey, this is what I want you to do within an hour, within a shift or whatever, within a week. Set those expectations, show them what they are, and give them a roadmap to get there. So many owners, so many managers miss out on this. Give them a roadmap. In other words, okay, I see the expectation, but how do I get there? How do I make that happen? So you as an owner, you as a manager, you give them that step-by-step roadmap to get there so they understand what the expectation is, and most importantly, they can meet the expectation. The number one thing to reduce your payroll and get your payroll organized, that would be make a schedule and a budget for your payroll. What I'm talking about here, have a budget not only in dollars, but in hours as well. I like to look at the bottom line at the dollars, and if I see a problem, then I go back on the hours and do an analysis there. Overtime costs here, are we talking about too many people scheduled? Are we talking about too many hours versus sales? You know, you got to look at your industry. So if you're in the restaurant industry, your labor should be running at a 30% labor cost to total sales. If you're over that, it's too much. If you're way under that, it's not enough. And your clients are probably not being served properly. What happens when you create this budget? It gives you a target. And that target is something that you can look at on a weekly basis, on a daily basis, on a pay period basis, and get it straightened out. Make sure that you are on target. Also, check performance every pay period, also once a month. Out of all your expenses, this is probably the number one to check on a pay period basis, a monthly basis, to make sure that you're falling in line with that budget that we've set forth. And one of the best ways to do this, use a payroll app. If you haven't used one before, check them out. That allows communication. Oh, they're just great. We'll probably go over this in another video, But payroll apps allow communication to your entire staff. It allows them to pick up the schedules and see when they're working, when everybody else is working. It allows them to communicate back to you through this app. So I highly suggest that you check out these payroll apps. Okay, so the shocking thing I want you to think about, and I swear this is true. I could walk into any business. I could walk into any business out there, and I don't care how well-oiled a machine it is. I could walk in there and I could go up to the owner. I could go up to the staff person that's in charge of payroll, the manager, and I could say, I'm going to give you 25% more labor hours to run your business. And you take those, you do whatever you want to. And I'm talking about going into a killer business, one that is just doing great. Again, it's a well-oiled machine. I go in and I say, here's 25% more labor hours. Just do with them what you want. Put them in use however you want to put them in use. But I'm telling you, you can have them. 25% more labor. Okay, so what's the point? The point is, I come back in 6 months and I take them away. Here's the deal. Every manager, every owner even, will look at you, and especially the team members, right? The staff members will look at you and say, you're crazy. You can't take this 25% away. They will lay their lives down and swear to you that you cannot take this 25% away. We have to have it. How are we going to get our jobs done? How are we going to serve the customers without this extra 25%? But by then, it's not extra, right? Let's say 6 months later, it's not extra anymore. It's additional. They've gotten used to it. Here's what happens. You give them 25% more labor. They slow their pace down. They start talking more. They get on the phone more. They do counterproductive, non-productive things that take up their time, that waste their time, that fill in the gaps, that makes it possible and makes it, in their eyes, a necessity to have that extra 25%. It all gets filled in. And you have to go in and do the painstaking task of pulling it back out. And those wonderful people, that well-oiled machine that you had before, they're going to start to get pissed off. They're going to get mad because you're pulling their labor hours back. Well, they didn't need them to start with. So I say to you, clean up your payroll. Check it every week, check it every pay period, check it every month, and make sure that it's running properly, because you do not want to be in a position where you have to pull it back. But hey, you see this video today, you need to dive in, pull some labor hours back. You got to do it. It's like ripping off a Band-Aid. Sometimes you have to do it. Bring your payroll in line. And you might say, hey, why, you're only saving $100 a week. Oh, you mean $5,200 a year? Or maybe you're saving $1,000 a week, $52,000 a year? Yeah, it adds up in a hurry with payroll. Get your payroll straightened out, people.